Hey, what is up everyone? So let's go ahead and talk about some of the most recent updates with Voyager regarding your USD Cash, your cryptocurrency, and also I want to go into some detail about the whole filing a claim because I know there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of misunderstandings about what needs to happen. Do you need to file a claim? If so, how do you do that? When do you need to do that by? So I'm going to be going over everything, how much to expect for cash back, how much cryptocurrency you may be getting back, and also the claim filing forms. A few days back, I actually posted a video on the second court hearing that happened with the Chapter 11 bankruptcy with Voyager. And what I did was I walked through the actual docket that was presented at the court, and we went through page by page of what each thing meant, what you needed to take from it, and it covered a lot of different things ranging from the restructuring process to how the employees at Voyager are paid, their own crypto holdings, or how that's going to be handled in this situation, a lot of common questions, concerns, timelines for everything. So it's a really good video. I'm going to leave a link below in the description box to that actual video. And also I'm going to leave a link below in the description box for the actual docket that was presented as well. So be sure to check that out. Now, without going into crazy detail with that last video that I made, let's talk about a few just overall summarized highlights of important information I think that you should know. Now, as of the second court date hearing, there were 88 interested parties regarding the whole Voyager bankruptcy and the possible acquisition. 46 different companies actually signed NDAs to get further disclosures and information regarding the whole situation. And as of the second court date hearing, there were 22 parties that were in the active sales process, whether they've actually put a bid in already or they're in the process of making a bid. Voyager also went into detail during that court hearing about FTX offer and why they called it a lowball bid dressed as a night white rescue. All of the bids are due by August 26th, and they're going to have an overall bidding sale process somewhere around September 7th, September 8th. Joshua Sussberg did state that there were a lot of other offers that were better than FTX, and in fact that FTX or Alameda offer was the absolute lowest, and that customers can expect to earn much more than 30 cents on the dollar. We're going to talk more about that in a second. Now, there have been some more updates and other things I want to talk about in this particular video regarding USD Cash, regarding crypto, and regarding that claim filing. So let's go ahead and dive into each one of these. And let's start with USD Cash and what to be expecting for that. So really good news on the overall Cash USD situation. Judge Wiles approved a release of $270 million back to Voyager customers who had cash. So if you had cash on Voyager, and that is USD, not USDC, not crypto, but USD Cash, you are entitled to 100% of all of your cash. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the newest updates that Voyager has put out regarding that situation. So this was one of the most recent posts that Voyager had recently on their site. I will leave a link to this below, talking about accessing your cash. And that, August 4th was when the court approved the proposal to restore access to cash held for the benefit of Voyager's customers at Metropolitan Commercial Bank. So, Voyager was not holding on to the cash. The cash that you deposited on USD on the app was held at Metropolitan Commercial Bank, and that is going to be given back to you. And that we can expect to withdraw our cash on Thursday, August 11th. They do anticipate customers will receive their funds in about 5 to 10 business days after making the request. And the other important thing to note, if you have less than $100,000, that means you can basically request to withdraw all of the money that you have. It will probably take 5 to 10 business days to do so. So really good news there. So now we need to talk about cryptocurrency holdings and what to be expecting from that. In that docket that was presented on the second court hearing, on the timeline, they did state that they expect the restructuring process to finalize in Q1 of 2023. How much we're going to get back really depends on how the overall bids happen. But if we look over here at the next steps reorganization process, they are making an effort to maximize crypto on the platform by doing one of two things, either a standalone restructuring process within the company or a potential sale of the company. The court approved the bidding procedures that they're due by August 26th, as we mentioned, and that the sale hearing is going to be held on September 7th. Another important thing to note is that the official committee of unsecured creditors was set up last month. Now let's talk about this for a quick second. So the unsecured creditors committee represents all unsecured creditors. So if you have any crypto on the exchange, you are part of an unsecured creditor. Now it's important to note that these UCCs are fiduciaries who act on behalf of all unsecured creditors and are legally bound to act in the group's best interest. One of the biggest concerns that people have with this overall bankruptcy is that Steve and the employees at Voyager are going to draw this out as long as possible, milk everything, take all the cash, and jet set and live some like lavish lifestyle. So the UCC is here to make sure that customers get maximum benefit from either a restructuring process or a sale of the company. And that you can see all the UCC members being listed on the filing here. So we don't know exactly how much we're going to get back of crypto yet. What we do know is that FTX had the lowest bid so far. And their bid basically stated that they would offer a percentage of cash value based on the time of the bankruptcy. They were also not going to include that $650 million hole or loan given to 3AC. One of the overall challenges with that, though, is that if Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of the coins are significantly higher at the time of the acquisition, that there's going to be a huge loss there. On a good note, the attorney Joshua Sussberg that represents Voyager did state that we can expect much more than 30 cents on the dollar. Now, like I said, the bids really depend on this. Is it going to be 30 cents based on the time of bankruptcy and the value of that? Is it 30 cents based on the actual holdings that you have? And what does much more mean? Are we talking about 31%? Or are we talking like 60, 80, 90% plus? We don't know that yet. However, I am pretty optimistic. There's a lot of companies putting in bids right now and that are interested in the acquisition. Voyager does have a 1 million plus customer base on the app, and it does generate really good revenue. They just made a pretty dumb loan decision. So let's go ahead and talk about the claim filing and how that works overall. So when it comes to the claim filing, Voyager is currently preparing its schedules of assets and liabilities, which will include account holdings as of July 5th, which is the time of the bankruptcy. The deadline for Voyager to file schedules in court is August 18th, and approximately 7 to 10 days after documents are filed, Voyager account holders will receive a personalized email from Stretto containing a notice of claims bar date. And this email will include information about how Voyager's listed holdings in your account on the schedules. So this is the really important part to pay attention to. If you see any discrepancies between what is listed on the proof of claim form and your account, you can file a claim on our case website here. I'll leave a link below in the description box. You must submit your proof of claim that is actually received by 5 p.m. Eastern time on October 3rd electronically. So what this means is, if you receive an email from them and they state that you have 1 Bitcoin as of July 5th and you had more than 1 Bitcoin, meaning that there's a discrepancy. They say you had 1 Bitcoin, but you have 1.5 Bitcoin. That is a discrepancy. You need to file a claim. However, if you receive an email from Voyager stating you have 1 Bitcoin and 5 Ethereum, and you have 1 Bitcoin and 5 Ethereum, meaning no discrepancy, as of right now, you do not need to file a claim. When they filed bankruptcy, they have all the information provided there. Now, I would take a note and take screenshots of everything that you have just in case. But overall, if there's no discrepancy, you do not need to file a claim form. If there is, you do need to file a claim form by that date using that link. So be sure to do that as soon as possible. But that is the overall updates. To be honest, I'm actually feeling a lot more optimistic about this situation than I was when I first heard about this. You see, when the bankruptcy was first announced, I pretty much had concluded that probably 10 years from now, if we're lucky, we may get 10 cents on the dollar once this has been drug out. But with these newest updates and all the things that I'm hearing, I'm honestly really optimistic. You are really struggling during this time because there's a lot of people who have like their life savings. There are people who have a large percentage of their money on the Voyager platform. If that is you and you are really struggling, feel free to reach out, send a message, leave a comment below. I'll do my best to message back to people. And if you're watching this, you see someone else, please note there are a lot of people who are struggling at this time. And we don't want to take that lightly. This is a very challenging time, but please keep in mind there is a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. And I do think this is going to end up a lot better than most of us originally anticipated. Now, if this video gave you some value, please be sure to smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I will keep continuing to put out more information and content on Voyager and updates on that particular thing. But if you're also into personal finance, investing, entrepreneurship, creating financial freedom, and living life on your terms, this might be a great channel for you. So be sure to check out some of my other videos. But let's get out there and let's build that dream.